Interesting to see the trajectory of India versus Pakistan, but it's not all fun and games, pertaining to cricket in Pakistan, because the country's ISI, or its intelligence bureau rather, has issued a high alert cautioning security forces about a suspected plot by active covert groups who are planning, they say, to abduct foreign guests attending the Champions Trophy 2025. Some of the matches are going to be held, remember, in Pakistan. The terror outfit is said to be specifically targeting Chinese and Arab nationals conducting surveillance at ports, airports, offices and residential areas frequently used by visitors from these countries. According to intelligence reports, the Islamic State Khorasan province operatives plan to rent properties on the outskirts of Pakistani cities as safe houses, deliberately choosing locations without camera surveillance and accessible only by rickshaw or motorcycle. The groups, they say, the Intelligence Bureau of Pakistan says, intends to kidnap individuals between safe houses under the cover of night to evade security forces. Meanwhile, Afghanistan's intelligence agency GDI has also alerted authorities to possible Islamic State attacks on key locations and has stepped up efforts to track missing operatives linked to this group. Now remember, the ISIS's most lethal branch, the IS Khorasan, has declared cricket as a Western intellectual war against Muslims. The group has argued that the sport promotes propaganda conflicting with Islam's jihadist ideology. Remember, the Indian team had refused to travel to Pakistan for this current Champions Trophy, citing safety concerns. Hence, their matches were relocated to Dubai, despite Pakistan technically hosting the tournament. Let me bring in India Today's Gaurav Sawant for more on this. Gaurav, Pakistan's own, intelligence agency warning of an Islamic State Khorasan plot to kidnap, cricket fans, maybe even target cricketers during the ongoing Champions Trophy. While I am skeptical that the intelligence is emanating from within Pakistan, obviously it's rooted in some measure of reality, given that Pakistan's own homegrown terror agencies have attacked cricketers and cricket fans in the past.
Shiv, you're absolutely right. You talk about the 2009 attack that had taken place on the Sri Lankan cricket team at the Gaddafi Stadium in Lahore. So bad was the situation that Pakistan Air Force had to fly in its helicopters and the Sri Lankan team had to be heli-lifted out of that area. And keeping that in mind, for this Champions Trophy, Pakistan had made tremendous efforts with multiple agencies deployed on ground and the Pakistan Army and their quick reaction teams on standby. But somewhere down the line, Pakistan is apprehensive. All the deployment is not enough, and yet because Pakistan knows, since Pakistan ISI and army has trained these terrorists or their dads in the past, they know that these people could still attack, and they could still attack, and that first line would be devastated or decimated in a khudkush hamla, as they call it, the suicide attack. So that is their biggest apprehension. Their apprehension is a foreign cricket team could be targeted, foreign players or fans could be targeted, or their Achilles heel. They haven't been able to protect the Chinese assets, and Chinese citizens and civilians have repeatedly been targeted. Now there's an apprehension even Arabs in Pakistan could be targeted. So that's Pakistan's worst nightmare. The terrorists they trained, whether it's ISKP or TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, and gave them amnesty when Imran Khan was Prime Minister. They're there in large numbers and they could strike. That's the apprehension, Shiv.
Gaurav, thanks very much for throwing light on that. Remember, all of this is of Pakistan's own making. So whether these intelligence alerts are accurate or ambiguous, they are rooted in a context of this threat being very much real and not just someone's imagination. Cricketers and cricket fans have literally been attacked by Pakistan's own terror groups in the years gone by. Therefore, we'll keep a very close eye on what happens during the Champions Trophy. Gaurav, thanks very much for that.